and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147. It is time to continue on my Dreamer Designs painting. So I've decided to continue on this one for a couple of reasons. The mystery painting that I also have in my sort of large painting rotation is I'm not doing videos on that one because I don't want to spoil the surprise for people. So I did one WIP and Waffle on it to sort of, you know, give people an idea. If somebody had it and didn't want to see anything, they only missed one WIP and Waffle. Was my thought process behind it. But I don't want to go doing any more and have, you know, people's surprises spoiled. That's not the idea of a mystery painting at all. The idea is that it stays a mystery for whoever's doing it. Then I have 3 large paintings in my rotation. And you've heard me talk about the fact that I had an Aura Lower painting, that I was itching to do an Aura Lower painting. I've unboxed quite a few and I haven't actually done one. So I skipped my decision wheel and chose an Aura Lower painting to do. Absolutely loved it, by the way. Quality was amazing. So, but I finished it, and the unboxing, the kitting up video for it hasn't even gone up yet, because June Waffle has sort of knocked me behind on quite a few videos. Yeah, it's not actually come up as a preparation kitting up video. I think it comes up this week. Does it come up this week? I'm trying to find the week. I'm trying to find the video and where it is. Oh no, it's next week. So it's not even this upcoming week. I've got another preparation video up this upcoming week. So it's actually the week after. But I have actually finished it. My decision wheel didn't pick my Dreamer Designs painting for over a week. So anytime I spun the decision wheel, it either picked my Diamond Art Club Mystery, of which I do one section when it picks that, and then I go to another one and spin it again, and it kept picking the Aura Lower. It was only a 40 by 50, but I have finished it. So I have de-kitted it, and that video will be coming even later than the kitting up. And I have kit up another one, which I'm hoping my videos will sort of catch up with themselves over the next few weeks, and it'll be a bit more current. Because while I do like having videos done in advance, it's actually, at the moment, it means I've had a few days of sort of solid filming, but it does mean that I can have weekends to myself, rather than working on the shop through the week and filming at the weekend. All I need to film at the weekend is my WIP and Waffles, because I always try and keep them in the now, very much in the now. So yeah, so I have actually finished the Aura Lower and kitted up another one, which means the only painting that you've seen kitted up that I can actually do is the Dreamer Designs. So I thought, let's do some more of it. When this one does get finished, it might be a while until you see the kitting down, but it depends how long it will take me. It's quite a big picture, this one, so it is taking quite a while to get it finished, but that's okay. This is the one that has been in my rotation of pictures the longest, so it is nice to use the WIP and Waffle to get a little bit more of it done. But that's like a little sneak of what can go on behind the scenes occasionally, especially after a June Waffle or the December Advent, where I don't have my usual kitting ups and dekittings. I know you guys like those videos, so I often I still do them, I just put them up later on, which is what's happening this time. So I'm just going to switch to these ABs. I like to put ABs on using a wax pen, and you have to be gentler with a wax pen. So if I put these on first, if I need to nudge any, I can do it with the diamonds that I'm placing around it. Well, that's the idea. But I know this one's an AB. So let's get them pretty much placed. Hopefully that one's going to fit. No, I might need to use. See, I can use the other side of this pen to nudge them, but it takes longer. So I prefer to place them down and then use the next diamonds to nudge them into the right place. Right, let's get those done. So yeah, so a bit of behind the scenes. I have been busy both diamond painting and preparing lots of kitting up videos. I think there's pretty much a kitting up video a week. There is the odd time that there isn't one, but that's normally at the beginning of the month when I want to squeeze in my logbook update. There might be a shop launch update. Sometimes I find it a bit harder to squeeze in each type of video then. But yeah, I have a few weeks prepared of kitting up and dekitting videos. So yeah, we're going to work on my Dreamer designs again. And of course, because this WIP and Waffle is up to date, I'm actually filming this the day before, so I'm filming this on the Saturday. This is exactly where I'm up to in the moment. And the next painting that I kitted up, I did use my decision wheel for it, and it's actually a really big painting. So I think this will be finished before the other one is. It's not going to jump in front. So I'm using our new stock colour purple tray for today. I'm using the AMZ one, so the bigger one, because while this is quite confetti, some of these colours for sure there is a lot more of. So I like to be able to tip more into my tray. But I am single placing. I'm using our metal silver pen. It is a warm day again today, you know, on the nice little weather update. We are experiencing heat again in the UK. I think it's only about 23 today, which is quite nice. It was hotter yesterday, but it does mean that this room gets quite warm, so I might do my WIP and Waffle in a few different sections, hence doing it on a Saturday. I can go and cool down, do something around the house, and then come back. My hope is to get through the last of the June Waffle comments, and then maybe have a longer video to do last week's and this week's WIP and Waffle comments. But we shall see. We shall see how it goes and how much I chat before I even read a comment. What are we on so far? Nearly 10 minutes. Oh well, it means I get more diamond painting done. Get more of this Dreamer's designs done. So comments wise, Sheila, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she just wants to say thank you for the June Waffle. You're welcome. She says she's really enjoyed it and she has finished a painting that she was working on. She says she will post it in the Facebook group later, and she'll continue to watch my videos as she diamond paints. Thank you, Sheila. I hope you've really enjoyed it. I've actually got the June montage to do this weekend on Monday. So the montage of everybody's images that they have completed. If they've given permission for me to use the image, I'll be doing a montage video to showcase everything that everybody has done and completed throughout the month of June. And believe me, I'm expecting it to be a whopper. It has been an extremely busy June waffle for many people. Have got so many paintings done, and I've got quite a few done in the background, hence a lot of kitting up and de-kitting videos to come. I've done a few Paint Gem mini sets, and I've completed the Aura Lower painting that's not yet kitted up. I've got, of course, a few Paint Gem minis to kit up again after finishing those and being able to de-kit. So I'm expecting a lot of kitting up videos and kitting down over the next few months, because while I've got July's mapped out and maybe even a couple in August, I'm still diamond painting away. So I reckon there's going to be more sneaking their way in as we go along. It has actually happened that in July I do have a video on one or the other channel every single day, and sometimes I have two, because I am trying to sort of cram these videos in to get a little bit more up to date. For August, I currently have 2 days that don't have a video across both of my channels, and that may well change. So you've definitely got company while I diamond paint. I have been beavering away on my Heaven and Earth design as well. I've made that my focus for July, the past 3 days, I think, since I filmed the Heaven and Earth design WIP and Waffle. I've actually completed 2 sections a day. Yesterday, I was going to film a couple more videos in advance so that they're sort of ready, because my daughter was available to watch Luna, but it was too hot. So I actually did 3 sections on my Heaven and Earth design yesterday. So I'm hoping there will be a really nice progress update. My glue dot's getting a bit sticky in this heat, so dab it on my face and hopefully it'll work a bit better. Yeah, so I actually just did more of my Heaven and Earth design, sat in the cool breeze, where it was a lot nicer to deal with the weather. I've set it up on my dining table again, and I'm finding that I'm getting a bit more done. Crafty Erin says, thank you for being you and everything you do to make this channel and your other channel. She says, absolutely amazing. Oh, thank you, Erin. She said she appreciates it in so many ways and a lot more than I know. Oh, thank you. It does make it very worthwhile. I would love, I'm very tempted at the moment, especially because I have things like large paintings that I've not yet shown you the kitting up video, and I know that I've finished it. It does make me very tempted to put up even more videos, so that we can get caught up. But I also know that we are coming up to a very busy month or 2 in the shop as we prepare Advents for shipping. We have pretty much everything in house. We are just waiting on the last couple of custom items that have been made especially, and as soon as they arrive, it's just going to go crazy here. So as tempted as I am, I have to keep stopping myself from shoving more videos up really quickly, so that when I do need to spend that time on the Advent, I don't have to worry as much about YouTube, and I can just keep you updated on my waffles on how things are going. But yeah, it's so tempting just to, especially the kitting up and the dekittings for paintings that I'm talking about and discussing with you. It is so hard to say, oh, by the way, I've not kitted up the painting yet, but I have finished it. It just doesn't sit as right with me. Laurie, she says, hello everyone. She says she has mixed emotions about the end of June. She says she's enjoyed meeting up with all of us every day this month. She says she doesn't know of any other creator, she says, that goes through all the comments on WIP and Waffles. She says, although she does leave suggestions for some others, she says the other emotion that she's feeling right now is joy, she says, for the Tour de France that starts on the 1st of July. She says that is 23 days of sheer joy. She says even if it does start at 5 a.m. most days. She says she perseveres through each stage until the last day. She said they could shorten the day to a bunch of laps in Paris, with the final sprint race being the frosting on a good cake. She said instead they have 100 plus miles of slow riding, drinking champagne, with no one challenging for the yellow jersey. She says, I know, she says they are honouring the leader of the race. But he says if he's so good, why not challenge him on that last day to show that he really did earn that yellow jersey. She says, oh well, I'll accept it as it is and enjoy my whining on that last day. Awesome. And that's a different type of me time. You're carrying on your me time into July, but just in a different way, by watching cyclists going around France. Right, have I got all that, Zed? Yes, I think so. I'm picking my colours primarily now by just going up this outside line. Get myself a nice outside line and then I'll move across. I've uncovered up to here mainly because it's sort of where the blue ends. So the last sort of part of this vine, I think it's a vine going into a tree, like something that's a creeper that's growing up the side of something. Anyway, I'm enjoying it. Laurie also says, she finally remembered the author that she loves. It's Estelle Ryan, the Dr. Leonard series. Oh, I have read some of this one. She says Dr. Leonard is autistic, hangs around with cops and criminals, trying to solve mysteries that involve masterpieces of art. I have read quite a few of these. She says she's reread all the books several times, and there are certain moments in the books where something big happens for each character, and she says her heart skips with joy when she reads those juicy little bits. Yeah, sometimes I live for those little bits that happen to the main characters just as much as you know, the actual overall story of the book. That's what makes a series so good, is those bits that are all to do with the characters. She says all the titles have the name of a famous artist. The first one is The Gorgon Connection, and each book also includes mentions of Mozart, and joins the dots on the mystery currently holding court in her life. She says in relation to books/movies, she says that she doesn't think there are any good screenwriters anymore to convert a really good suspenseful book into a truly fabulous movie. She says before Vince Flynn died, he was working with Hollywood to make movies for his books. She says she couldn't find a single actor that could create Mitch Rapp with the looks and actions, in her humble opinion. She says then Vince died and she hasn't heard anything more about the movies. She says then one day she found a new creator on YouTube, and she knew instantly that he was her idea for the Mitch Rapp character, which is Luke Evans from The Farm. Excuse me. She said he has the right build, colour of eyes and life experiences to give Mitch a heart and soul. She said he's not an actor. He is a dog trainer in Australia, trying to give hard luck canines a joyful life, and raising his kids with his wonderful wife, with the love for animals and the great outdoors. She said his video for a dog named Chance will be on the dodo soon, and is a terrifying but at the same time joyful story. She said she won't say anything about Luke's background, as that's his story to tell. She says, but she does love him, his family and his pack of dogs, which is 20 at the last count. His dingo, which is 1. His cats, which he has 2. 1 horse and goats, she says, but she's never counted the goats. She says, if you're suffering from no daily WIPs, go to the farm and follow Miss Violet, Miss Red, Tank, Chopper, Barney, Abra, Roscoe, Shadow, Cruiser, Freddo, Hope, Cutie Pie and the rest of the pack around on their walks, runs, swimming and nap time, she says, for the beautiful respite from this hectic world. There you go. There's a different type of YouTube channel to follow if you want to have some company in a different way. There are so many amazing channels out there and so many people that take the time to put out content and things like that, which we all get to watch for free. So yeah, it's a great way to sort of find different interests, or say just find a bit of me time in a different kind of way. Right, letter T is done. So now I am on to K, which actually there's quite a few of the letter K on here. Right, letter K. Anne says she has enjoyed the whole month of WIP and Waffles. That's awesome. It seems to me like there's more people joining in the June Waffle this year. Maybe it's partly because there's more subscribers. Maybe it's just more people have been able to carve out the time this year, because not everyone can every year. I love strawberries, like the name, says thank you for this month. It's been amazing to listen to. They haven't been able to diamond paint as much as they wanted to because they have to read 4 history books before July the 10th, and they are feared for history students as they are so much more in depth. Sounds like that's a lot to take in. They said they're travelling in July and won't be able to bring their current WIP with them, and they do want to second the comments on the Miss Fortune books. Said that's a series that them and their mum and they listen to on road trips, and they always end up laughing. They said she was in tears during one of the books because she was laughing so hard. They'll also add that they said the Meg Langslow series is pretty enjoyable. They love the entire cozy mystery genre, and they are perfect for starting and stopping, which is a thing with me, starting and stopping a book. Very often, once I start, the problem is stopping, because I just get so drawn in to the story. Yvette says a massive thank you, Rebecca, for a fab month. Yvette and Jay are for sure going to miss listening to me each and every day. She also says, thank you for the chance for us to enter giveaways. It's been fun. It has, and many of them are starting to arrive if they've not arrived already. She said to top this month off, to her surprise, she has finished Outside the Sweet Shop, which is from Diamond Art Studio, which took her 25 days to complete. I cannot believe that you completed that in 25 days, Yvette. Outside the Sweet Shop has 197 colours. So it is a very different type of canvas to work on. And even though my Heaven and Earth design has 239, actually having the app with that really helps to ensure I get the right colour and get it correct. Outside the Sweet Shop is a normal diamond painting canvas, but with that many colours. So trying to make sure that you get all the colours in the right place, it's a different type of challenge, that's for sure. So I think you've done absolutely amazing. She said it was a shocker because she did think it would take her longer, and it's absolutely stunning. She says, thank you again. She says, please also, she says she's been meaning to ask, will you be doing the month calendar this year like they had from the Advent last year? She said she loves keeping hers, using hers to keep track of the days she diamond paints. We'll look at doing that as an additional item. It is actually something that we switched out of the Advent for something last minute, but we will look at doing it as a standalone, so that those that do want the mini calendar can get that. But it's amazing how many people have either said or messaged to say that they really enjoy the mini calendar after we decided to exchange it for something else. So it's a bit of a shocker, but maybe that is something that we definitely need to keep in if we do it again next year. Jenny says, hi Rebecca. She says, quick question. She says, can she ask where I got the diamond painting kit from? It had a Gothic style church / cathedral in the rain. She says she seems to remember you weren't sure if it was going to be me or my daughter that completed it. It was a beautiful dark picture. She says, thank you for all the videos that you do. You have inspired me to start diamond painting again. I am pretty sure that that was a diamond art studio. I'm just having a look now. I don't think it was called Castle. I'm pretty sure Megan has it. What artist was it? I am sure as I can be that it was I'm pretty sure that it was Diamond Art Studio. It's in Megan's stash. And it is one that sort of, it needs a second glance. There's quite a few artists. I do it with, I do it with Esther and Voros all the time. All the time when I see them. When I first see them, I'm like, oh, that's nice. But then when I look again, I'm like, oh, no, that's gorgeous. I need that one. And I'm pretty sure it was one of theirs. And Megan has it. I'm just trying to see if I can find it so that I can bob a link. But I actually can't remember the artist that it was. I'm hoping it's not one that was a clearance. It may have been. Yeah, I'm not seeing it on their website at the moment. So I am pretty sure that it was a Diamond Art Studio. If for any reason that's wrong, I will bob a link underneath your comment. But it does look like it is one of their older ones, which I think wasn't necessarily a licensed artist, which is why it's no longer on their site. Because pretty much everything on there, most of the diamond paintings on their site now are licensed artists only. So yeah, I will have a look and have a double check. Gretchen says, thank you for the June waffle. She said she got far more done than she expected without burning out on a difficult project. It's amazing what you can achieve by doing just a little bit each day. Getting my Heaven and Earth design project finished this year is a key part of it. Decluttering can also be something that can be done in little steps each day. Finding 5 things to get rid of or something like that just each day, and before you know it, you've you do the easy things that you sort of know but just haven't got rid of first, and then follow it up, with it getting a little bit trickier as you go further on. And you have to start thinking a bit more, but maybe you've got in the flow of it. And it's amazing what sort of steps you can take as you go along to really, get something achieved in, say, little bits each and every day. Trish says, thank you for the June waffle. She says she's still away at camping, but she did have to watch the last day. She said, luckily, it was a good Wi-Fi day. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us for the last day, even while camping and on holiday. I hope you had an amazing holiday, because you're probably back by now. It has been a bit since, well, it's been just over a week since most of these comments were left as I'm reading them. So yeah, I hope you had an amazing time. You may or may not be back, actually. Depends if you're having a 1 week or a 2 week holiday or something in between. Gray Legrand says, thank you for the June waffle. She says she completed 3 canvases. She would have completed a 4th, but she was lured by a giant Diamond Art Club painting. It's amazing how many just sort of drag us in, don't they, by the short and curlies, and it's like, oh, but I need to do this one. Okay, tipping out number. I've noticed a couple of letter N's that I've missed, so I'll probably go and get them in a bit. I'm just going to finish up this row. Lady Dax, she says, oh, thank you so much, she says, for the June waffle. She says, Ari, the pregnant stick, the symbol, the pregnant stick. She says, Mother Earth, it is facing to the left. She said, maybe I should call that one Mother Earth instead of pregnant stick. I found that most of them that I've spotted, it's facing to the left. I haven't found one yet, not on one of the canvases I'm currently working on, that it's facing to the right, but I'm sure there are ones that face to the right. It might just be me. She says, well, her breathing took a bit of a dive, so she is starting July on steroids. She says, but at least she doesn't feel ill with it. She said, so hopefully she will be on the steroid high and get loads done. I love the steroid high when you can get loads of stuff done. It can be an amazing productive time. If you've not got, to the point that you're that ill that the steroids are too busy keeping you well or getting you better. They can be amazing. I know during her steroid high, she has taught Jackie how to change her name on YouTube, which has given quite a few of us in the group a giggle. But yeah, it's all fun. She says, having completed her 2 other WIPs, she is doing some Paint Gem Zodiac minis today. That's one I've not done yet. It's not been chosen by my decision wheel yet. I've recently kitted up a few of those as well that will be coming in upcoming videos, because I like to try and get about 1 a day done if I can. And yeah, I've been really enjoying sort of working my way through some of those again, but in a leisurely place. Sarah says, hi Rebecca. She says, thank you so much for the June waffle. She says she's enjoyed painting along with me every single day, and she has ended up with a beautiful finished canvas at the end. She says she already can't wait for the next one. She says, take care, and we will miss chatting with you every day. She says, but she knows she will enjoy the other videos that I have in store. And there are plenty of them to keep you company in various different ways and various different productive ways. So you can still take that little bit of me time. I'll just be chatting about something else. May not be the same topic repeated. Sherry says, so happy to have spent the month waffling with me. Thank you, Sherry. She says, she says she's enjoyed it with me and all of the followers of the channel. She said, cheers. She said, see everyone in December. Yes, we have 24 days coming up in December. We will be releasing a canvas, a diamond painting canvas that I will do in December, and that will be available in our shop. We're doing it a little bit earlier this year. We're doing it in September rather than October, just so that people can have it ready. We've ordered twice the amount of stock as we had of the Advent for last year, so that people that do find us later or want to be able to budget can do. But yes, we will be releasing a diamond painting, and we have of course released the pre-orders at the moment for our 24-day Advent calendar, which is where you open a surprise a day for 24 days of December, and I will be opening one on my channel, and just sort of explaining the choices and the reasons why we did certain things. But yeah, it's gonna be a busy but exciting December, that's for sure. Mutt's Nuts, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she loved the June waffle and she's looking forward to the next one. She says she's so excited. She just ordered her very first canvas from Dreamer Designs. She got All Mad Here and Over the Rainbow. Well, my unboxing for my Dreamers Designs that I must have got in May is coming up in the next couple of weeks. I finally opened the box. Very happy with the new version of the canvas. So you will be able to see that in the unboxing, but they seem to be loads better to see the symbols through the light pad, which is exactly what I wanted. And there's not many on this one that are hard, but there are definitely some that are hard, which is why I'm doing this painting in summer. So I don't need my light pad when I'm working on this painting, because it stays light till like 9 o'clock at night, 9, 10 o'clock. So it's long enough for me to be able to diamond paint for a good few hours without needing a light pad. But the new canvases, they can just go into my decision wheel and be chosen whenever they get chosen. They are not going to cause me a problem at all, which is great. Jaina, she says, so it sadly ends. She said, what a month it has been. She says, through all the ups and downs, she said she was really glad to tune in every afternoon and see what topics were on the table for the day. She said she managed to complete 1.5 30 by 40 paintings, which is a record, she says, because it usually takes her 3 weeks just to finish one of them. She says, but beyond that, she says, this event has helped her to realise what makes diamond painting so special to her. It lets her slow her overactive mind and ground herself in something enjoyable for an hour or two. She says she doesn't have to worry about the world in those quiet moments. She can just dot away until her cat decides to scream at her for pets. There's always pets or children that will disturb, or maybe husbands as well. But normally it's pets or children that are the first ones to disturb your bit of quiet time. She said, thank you so much for hosting this event. She says, and she can't wait for Advent, where we can all complain about how cold it is. It'll make a change. It'll make a change from June. I'll be complaining about how cold it is rather than how hot. I've already taken one break to go and cool down when my memory card filled up for the first section, and I'm tempted to go again. It was raining when I went out last time, just to take 10-15 minutes to cool down. It was raining outside, but it's not cooled the air down that much, though it was quite nice to stand in it for a bit. She says she hopes everyone has had a great June waffle and she will chat again soon. Oh, thank you so much, Jana. Shelley says thank you for the June waffle. She says she really enjoyed it. She completed a total of 64 sections. That's more than 2 a day. She says 28 left to finish tag-alongs and 36, so 28 to finish off tag-alongs, so 28 of those 64. And then 36 on Who Killed the Rabbit. She says it's halfway. She says both of those are from Diamond Art Club. Cracking going. Finished off a WIP. Started another one. Awesome work. Brianne says to her it is a pregnant stick no matter which way it's facing. She said it honestly never crossed her mind that it should only face one way. I don't think it's a matter that it should only face one way. I think it's me that expects it to face one way. I think everybody else is probably normal and it can face either way. Because at the end of the day, it does face either way when a woman stands there. It will face either way. It is purely me that expects it to face one way and not the other. So yeah, that's definitely a me thing and not an everybody else thing. Right, we've got another AB. This time it's a white AB. I actually topped up my diamonds the other day from my bags on a book ring that had the extras. And there was a couple of colours that I filled up the pot and still had loads left in the bag. And this was one of them. So I'm expecting quite a few sections with quite a bit of ABs in white coming up. Which should be kind of pretty. White is one of the easiest ABs to add that can have the most impact without having too much impact, if that even makes sense. Diamond Painting Addict says thank you for another amazing June waffle. They managed to get their logbook started and finished. They also managed to get a 6-pack of Christmas drinks coasters started and finished, all while watching the June waffle videos. Thank you for everything that you do for us. Oh, thank you so much for taking part, taking that little bit of me time for yourself, and amazing work on the logbook. Because if you've not got one, and depending on how far back you want to go, that can be a bit of a mission, that's for sure. I do mine on a monthly basis, mainly because I do a video for it, and actually doing a video for it stops me missing any, that I may forget to sort of sneak in. There are many people that have got in the rhythm of completing their logbook as something arrives or as they purchase it, and then as it arrives and as they finish it, and all that. There are people that have got all organised with that, but quite often, especially because I tend to film a few unboxing videos maybe in one day, and I'm sort of flipping between what videos I might be filming and what stuff might be happening. And sometimes as my Dreamer Designs order has realised, that arrived and has basically sat in a box for a month before I've opened it, primarily because of videos. But yeah, I just can't get in the rhythm of that. So doing it once a month helps me keep up to date. But I only have my paintings recorded from 2021, partway through 2021. I may decide to use my YouTube to go back and maybe fill in at least some details of ones I've completed in earlier times. But I never used to put every kitting up video and every de-kitting video on YouTube until you guys told me that you love those videos. So once you told me how much you loved them, then I was, you know, it became something that I regularly did rather than just doing it on occasion, you know, and occasionally just kitting one up in my own time if I wasn't, you know, or didn't need to do the video at the time. So I'm not sure how far back I could safely go. It took a little bit for my channel to definitely become, you know, fully diamond painting and all my diamond painting processes. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure whether I'm up for that task at all. Susan says, fantastic June waffle. She says, thank you so much from Canada. Oh, you are welcome. I'm so glad that everybody has enjoyed it. Right, do I have all of those? I think I do. Brianne says, thank you for a wonderful month of crafting and chatting. She says it's been lovely. She says she knows it's a lot of work for me. She says, but you know, we very much appreciate you and your efforts and kindness. Yes, it is work, but I do enjoy it. Having an hour-long video each time for this month of June, it did take quite a bit more. But I say I've absolutely loved doing it. So it's not been, you know, while it's been work, it's not been work, if that makes sense. It's like doing this now, doing a longer waffle to sort of, you know, try and be able to read out everybody's comments because I want to. The only difference is that I'd probably be, at the moment, because it's raining and I can't do any work in the garden, I would probably be sitting and diamond painting anyway. So the difference is I'm just standing and chilling for a bit. So it's not too bad at all. And as I say, I do really enjoy it. User WS5YG blah blah says, thank you for the June waffle. It was great hanging out with you. Oh, thank you so much for being here. I have loved it all. Sue says, another comment. She's another one. She says, sorry, she forgot about completed paintings. She said she got waylaid with the talk about books. She says she's finished Aussie Girl. She said she did Doggy's Paint Gem minis and put into a book. So she's put them into, I'm guessing, some form of display book. Plus she did a small octopus special gem painting too. She says, thanks again for a productive month. Stephanie says, thank you Rebecca. She says she's enjoyed her first waffle. Oh, that's good. It's nice. There's quite a few people that have joined us for a waffle. It's as nice as the fact that we have people that are coming back and doing them time and time again. Mysterious Days says, hi Rebecca. She says she is so sad to see this end, but she had a wonderful time this June waffle. It was the first one that they have participated in since they rediscovered diamond art in December 2022. They had done 2 diamond paintings before in December of 2019. So let's end on good news. She said, not only did I finish the painting, which she'll post on Facebook, of which her name is Janet on there, she said, but she got to kit down and began kitting up with a new diamond painting. She says she's also got a job. Well done. She says Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. She is a full-time nanny to the children that she has been watching, and she is so pumped. Awesome news. Exactly what you wanted. So happy that it has become a full-time job. Ina says, thank you very much for the waffle this month. She says, and the opportunity to win some awesome paintings and accessories. She said she's a little bit sad that June has already gone, but you promised almost 1 video a day in July. She said, so we can still relax and paint together. Yes, well, July is now at least 1 video a day on one channel or the other. So make sure you are subscribed to both, and they will pop up so I can keep you company. Some are shorter, they're not all an hour long, but there's definitely quite a lot of videos in there. And the WIP and Chats, the Sunday WIP and Chats that I'm doing at the moment are a little bit longer, while we get all caught up on the amazing comments that are left on June Waffle and indeed on the Sunday waffles. So yeah, I'm planning on doing a few longer ones over the next few weeks. Help me get through some more. I say get through, it's not like it's a struggle, but to get more of my large Dreamer designs done, because I am really enjoying getting some of my larger paintings done. I'm enjoying having a decision wheel that decides which one, but I do also feel this one has been on my to go for a bit now, not too long, especially considering I've been doing other paintings in between. But after finishing the Aura Lower painting and having the excitement of finishing that and kitting up a new one, which I'm excited to do, I'm also now excited to do it again and finish one and kit up another. It's a process that I love. So, I mean, to be fair, I've hardly got anything done on my other 2. Both my brand new one, I've done 1 section, and my mystery painting is definitely going to be a longer process. I'm half and half wondering whether to put a 4th in there, but then maybe I'll never finish them. So who knows? We'll see. I have enough kitting up videos at the moment. If I find that it's taking too long, then I might throw another one in, but that will be quite a bit down the line. She says the ribbon looks great. She says, are you going to hang it up to the wall somewhere? Not at the moment. It does look great, but I don't have a space in my home that, you know, jumps out at me that it would suit best. What I really need is a huge craft room with lots of walls, and then I could just hang them all up. But yeah, I try as much as I can. While I do have diamond paintings up on the wall in the house, I do try to keep those ones more in tune with whatever the decor is. so I don't really have a suitable place for it. But I do diamond paint primarily for the process, which I absolutely love. Mindy says, thank you for your time. She says she loves listening as I dot. Oh, thank you, Mindy. Pam says, thank you for the June waffle. She said this was the first year that she watched me in a very long time. She says the diamond painting came out so beautiful, and she can't wait to see more of my videos. She says, thank you so much for the June waffle. Oh, thank you for being here, Pam. It's been a good month. It's been a very good month. Janita says, thank you for explaining the glue dots. She says they are currently under tornado watch. Ooh, not a nice time. I don't like the idea of that. I'll take the rain that we have outside, just bog standard, normal rain. I'll take that instead. She also says that the painting is gorgeous. She says, well done. Oh, thank you. And that she has enjoyed the June waffle. Thank you so much for being here, Janita, and your comments throughout. All of your comments throughout have been great. It's what keeps these WIP and waffles very much like a chat, which I really enjoy. Right, I'm actually going to sneak forward and do this letter L, which is in a few places, but I have visions of missing it. That and this letter T. So I think I'm just going to sneak forward and do those before I go back to whatever is the most to the left. So occasionally I feel like I'm going to end up missing things, especially those across like the bottom line. When I've done most of the others, I always end up feeling like I'm going to miss those symbols if I don't just sneak in and get them done. So I'm sneaking in and getting them done. Teresa, she says, now that you have finished the June waffle, she says, will you be kitting up like this again? So using our tray holder with trays to kit up. She says, how did you like having them ready to use versus the original way? I absolutely loved having them kitted up ready to use. I adored using the tray holder. It was, I felt like I could spend my time dotting and not doing what I'm doing now, switching out diamonds and tipping them in from one to another. Absolutely loved it. How I diamond paint in an evening, because I'm not sat at a table. So ideally, you know, all the space in the world, I would love to have like a drafting table space that I could sit with a little shelf above or next to me, so that I could have it set up on the tray storage, and I would do that constantly because it was so nice to do it that way. But it's not practical for the likes of this painting, for example. You can get 26 trays on one of the units, so that's what, 52 across 2. So it would work rather well. I think 2's probably a maximum that I'd be comfortable doing, though never say never. Once you get used to something, it gets easier to push it just that little bit and do something a little bit more. So yeah, it's something I really enjoyed. Practical wise, it's not something I can do for a lot of paintings. However, I am planning on doing it again. I'm planning on doing it with my mini Heaven and Earth design. So once I've finished my massive Heaven and Earth design, I do want to work on my mini painting that has 15 colours. So I'm thinking of kitting that up in trays to carry on doing sort of a section a day. Once I've got my big one finished and all the diamonds put away and my spare storage all sorted out, I want to do the small one with the trays. So yeah, I will be using that system again. I just have to be conscious that to do it that way, I need to be sat at a table. It may work next to me, but because I put my storage case on a rolling cart, it would involve having the tray storage on a rolling cart. I don't like the safety factor of that and what could happen if it tipped off for whatever reason. So yes, I am going to be using it again. Whether I will use it again after that, it will depend on what projects I have on the go, probably more so than anything. Okay, so I've done all that red, and I am actually going to go in and do this red as well, because I feel like it's sort of getting lost. I've got a few of these diamonds just want to stay in the tray. I think it's just a little bit of static, but very, very mild static. So yes and no is the short answer. Yes, I will be doing it again, but I need to be very conscious of what projects I do it with. WIP and Waffles are a great one to do it on, because I can put them up across the back of the desk and do it that way. So I might do it again for December Advent. I just need to double check because I can't remember how many colours, but I know there's a lot. So it might be two storage racks required for that one. Helen says, thank you for the month of Waffles. She says she's enjoyed my company. She says it's been great. Thank you, Helen. Ravy Heights says, thank you so much, Rebecca. It's been a great event to participate in. They find that they actually get more done while listening to the waffle, because it means they take that hour for themselves without interruptions. And it is interruptions, isn't it? Because you end up getting interrupted, but it's not like you pause the clock on your me time when you do get interrupted. So it ends up that you go, oh, I've been at it for an hour, I better stop. When actually you've probably been at it for half an hour because you've been interrupted so many times. So at least you've managed to take that time in a block without the same interruptions. Jeanette says, thanks for another wonderful June waffle. It's been a pleasure. You're welcome. And Tina says, thank you so much. She says, this has been a fantastic month, and you've been great company and helped spur me on. She says she can't wait for the Advent reveal, as she missed out last year. Well, say we have doubled stock levels for everything Advent related this year. We have just taken whatever was sold last year and doubled it, to help with, new people that are coming in, but also to prevent disappointment for the future. Nancy says, sweet success. She says she enjoyed the waffles that she was able to get to. Fantastic. I say not everybody can get to join in every day because, life keeps going. But it's great that people have joined in as and when they can. Deb says, one question. She says, what is a chippy tea? She says, thank you so much for the June waffle. So chippy tea is a trip to the chip shop, which is very much a UK thing, a fish and chip shop. So a chippy tea can consist of whatever the chip shop sells, but you will often find that there is multiple chip shops in towns, areas of towns, etc. Not quite as often as you'll find a corner shop, but not that far behind either in most instances. So quite often a quick sort of chippy tea is just getting a couple of bags of chips from the chip shop and a fresh loaf of bread, because I don't know what it is, but chips need a fresh loaf of bread. And I'll have toast and sandwiches and stuff with like seeded bread, but with a chippy, it's got to be white bread. Nice thick white bread. But it can consist of fish and chips. Our chip shop also does the odd Chinese meal as well. Or it could be doner meat and chips. Chips with mushy peas, or a chip balm, which is your big roll. So a bread roll, but like a really big one, filled with chips. Yeah, hopefully that describes a chippy tea. There's probably a much better way to do it, but hopefully that does. So comments are, as I get into the comments now, they're getting to be a little bit of last week's Sunday waffle. But there is still, of course, quite a few June waffle comments, as people are catching up, watching the last one. Sort of the time frame for comments sorts of crosses over a little bit. So I think I'm going to primarily now try and just read out any comments that have been left on June waffles. Oh, I did miss one. There is one of the AB ones I missed. I wouldn't mind. I did 2 scans for the AB ones and I still managed to miss some. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, I'm going to go through the comments for June waffles. And then what I'll do is I will keep the Sunday waffle ones for next week, but any comments that are left on June waffle from now I will read or reply rather than reading out. Does that make sense? So we can keep the waffle flowing. So any on Sunday waffles will now be read on Sunday waffles, and any on Heaven and Earth Design waffles will be read on Heaven and Earth Design. So by the time this waffle's finished and gone up, for next week's I will have 2 weeks worth of waffles to read. So it'll be another longer one, and then we'll see where we're at. Nellie says, thank you for explaining how you put the glue dots in the pens and how I put the pen tips in. She says she will give it a go. She says great waffles, and that's from Nellie in Western Australia. Thank you, Nellie. So glad that it was helpful. Sometimes you do just need the visual or the explanation on how, you know, to get something done, to make it just that little bit clearer. Oh, maybe I don't have many actually. Oh no, we'll see. We'll see. I've just found a longer one. We'll see how many comments I have. If I do get through all the June waffle ones and want to finish up to a certain point on this diamond painting for whatever reason, depends on how my section's working out. I kind of feel like this might be a good section to finish off completely. And I might go back to Summer Sundays. But some crafts, she says she's finding all the talk about names really interesting. She said she always wonders if parents think about the names they give their children and the implications of having those names. Sometimes I'd say the answer's no. She says her own name has regularly had her wondering what her parents were thinking. She said it's pronounced Sume, but spelt S-O-M-E, which means most people that don't know me just call me Sum. Which is why I've called your username Sum Crafts, which is actually Sume Crafts. So apologies, I am one of those people. I will try to remember, but I am probably going to fail. She says she's reluctantly accepted this is how it will be for the rest of her life. And she just stops people mid-sentence and corrects them. Well, huge apologies for every time I've pronounced your name wrong. And I will apologise for the future, because I will try to remember. But I know that is going to be a hard one for me. Just the way my brain works as well, and remembering quite a few different usernames and real names and all the rest of it. But pronunciations, even though I am told and on occasion get it right by accident. Yeah, pronunciations, I'm all right because I'm reading it now, as you've said it, Sume, but remembering that in the future can be very hard for me. So do accept my apologies if I muck it up in the future. It is in no way intentional, and I do recognise that you've told me the right way. I just also know what I'm like, so please don't take offence. It's not meant at all. But sometimes, yeah, Karis has accepted a lot of the time that hers is pronounced wrong. And quite often it will just go over her head if somebody doesn't know her. And quite often she won't correct them if it's not somebody she's going to be talking to very often either. She won't bother correcting them. They've had to have done it a few times before she gets to the point of, oi, sort yourself out. Pronounce it right, it's this way. Magic Moonchild says, what is the weirdest place that you have ever found a diamond? She says up until a few weeks ago it was on her bottom, but there has been recently, as she was showering, that she noticed one on her nipple. She said it was a perfect match too. It's the ones that match that you have a problem with, because they're harder to spot than the ones that don't. I have found a couple floating in the bath which have obviously come off some sort of body part at some point. But probably the weirdest one was on the tip of Luna's nose. I think I put a picture up in the Facebook group at the time, but it was just balanced on the top of her nose. She was completely oblivious. Hence I actually got to take a picture before I removed it. So yes, that's probably the weirdest place that I have managed to find a diamond. But I am sure there will be more weird ones coming. So Stephanie says she has never had square. She says she's always had round diamond paintings. Square can be a little bit more tricky to do for some. Quite often though, once you've mastered square paintings, tend to find most people prefer them. Most people that never do squares are ones that haven't yet mastered how to do them for whatever reason. You know, they just don't like the process and they've never quite got to full grips with it. But many people that only do squares know perfectly well how to do rounds. They just don't like to do them. They prefer the look of squares. I do like both, but I do sway towards squares just a little bit more, which is why I currently have, of my large paintings, 2 of them are square and 1 of them is round, and it's a nice ratio for me. If I did ever decide to do another one, it would probably be another square, but that's partly because the mystery painting, I'd probably see the mystery painting as more of a long-term thing, because I only ever do 1 section of that. Whereas if my decision wheel picks the likes of this, I will peel up 2, 3, or in this case 2.5 sections to do in an evening. Whereas the mystery, I'll only ever do 1. So I'd sort of potentially kit up a 3rd and class my mystery as a bonus. That's the way my brain works. But we'll see how it goes. I'm not going to do it. Oh, I've missed another one of those. This is why I did them, was because I knew I would end up missing them, and I have done. So let me pop that red one in there. On the basis of missing, I think I'm going to do the black. But yeah, it takes a little bit to get to grips with square, but I do love the way they fit together. And while I enjoy doing square a little bit more, I do actually have quite a few rounds that I find just catch the light and sparkle quite a bit differently to squares, and sometimes in a better way than squares do, which is probably because, you know, they have the curve. Jo says happy end of June. She says thank you for another wonderful June Waffle event. She says, and congratulations to all the me times that we have had this month. She said a lot can happen in 1 month. She said last week that she was informed that she will be assigned to another country for 6 months to work. Wowzers. She says, and the last week has been filled with preparations for the move. Having the June Waffle and doing a section a day was one of the only things that was normal or routine, she says, which helped her to keep her sanity as everything went crazy. She says, to be fair, she says this was something she's been expecting since last year. She says, but after months of no updates, it's finally happening, and she has till the end of July to prepare. Oh my goodness me. She says, of course, one of her concerns, which was her stash and her Add More Zest and Zesty trays, she says, so her concern was, which does she take with her? She says, thank you for all the company every day this month. Oh, thank you so much, Jo. I do wish you all the best with your move. I can imagine that that is an absolutely crazy time. In relation to what stash / trays you take with you, did you know that you can, quite in most of the boxes that diamond paintings come in, if you still have them in boxes, you can actually fit our trays in those boxes, provided the diamonds aren't taking up all the space, but you can fit them in. So I would be tempted to slip a tray into each diamond painting box. And then as you get to each diamond painting, you will have a nice surprise when you open it up and you can see what tray has been chosen for what painting. Catherine the other day actually set up our trays. So we have, of course, have one of each tray. We don't have one each. Me and Megan share. We're quite good at sharing. She always picks the green ones. She's a green fan. But Catherine currently set up the trays. She tried a few different options, bless her, because she wanted to get the rainbow order as nice as possible. So I have ended up with 4 tray holders. I could probably have fitted them all into 3, but it wouldn't have been long until I would have needed a 4th. So far there is a tray holder and a half that has all the trays that we have both the zesty and the full size tray in. So she's put all those together across 2 tray holders. And then we have a tray that has the bigger Add More Zest trays, and then one that has the smaller zesty trays. Because some of the colours that we do next year, we've not fully decided on how we're going to do it, but we may do some of the colours that we've done before, but do them in a different size to what we've done before. Or we may, because we do recognise, there's people that get into diamond painting all the time that may not have had opportunities in the past. We may decide to do next year, because they're already all decided for this year, but for next year we may decide to start going through some of the colours that we've only had 1 tray in, 1 tray size, and do both tray sizes, so that if you have that gap, or if you like that colour but you prefer 1 size of tray, you can get the option to do that, and then potentially have trashies with them. I've not yet put my trashies on the trays, but that is my next plan, is to get my trashies and put them with the zesty version of the tray on the tray storage. But yeah, it was epic. But it's quite nice now, because I find I put my tray back each time I finish diamond painting. I put my tray back on my shelf. At the minute they're just sat on the windowsill, but I put it back, and then every time I diamond paint I pick a different colour tray. So it's quite nice. But I say, at the moment they are just on the windowsill in the conservatory. They do need a permanent home. They just don't have one yet. They might get one eventually. So yeah, bob 1 in each box, Joe. In relation to how many diamond paintings to take with you, that is a harder one. That could very much vary, depending on how much, like when you're working away, is it just you? Is it like in a hotel room? Is it in a house? Like, all those things can make a difference. If it's the like of a hotel type room, like, are you getting meals cooked for you? Are you going to have more time that you don't need to cook meals? Do you live with someone now, like family, and they're coming with you? Or are you going and, maybe travelling back at weekends or something? All those things vary. Can you get hold of more if you go through more? Like, is that an option? But if not, overpack the diamond paintings, because who needs to not be able to grab hold of that stuff? Then again, you could buy more. So maybe take a few less, and then use it as an excuse to buy more. There's just so many options, Joe. It's a hard decision, but I'm sure you'll make the right one. And the option of buying more will also be a grand option. But exciting times. Manic times, but hopefully exciting times once the move part of things is actually done. Susan, this is a very, very recent comment on the June waffle from Susan. She says she's a little bit bummed that she wasn't able to follow along while I did it each day. She says it's nice that I was giving away prizes. She said she'll probably just leave an emoji as she watches the rest. Oh, it is a shame, Susan. I had to get things sort of sorted and out. Giveaways quite often can just be not a huge, you know, amount of extra work, but it's a little bit of an amount of extra work, and it ends up getting confusing on, you know, which paintings, you know, are going where and when, and running too many giveaways just ends up being a big sort of mess with it. And then it's, you know, if we put them all together, are people allowed to enter more than once, or do we just keep it open for a long time but then do multiple prizes? So there will be other ways that we will do them in the future. What I might do in the future, maybe even for December, if I can. In fact, that might be a very good idea for December. So I am planning on going through my stash again. I do feel like it just needs that little bit of a whittling down. But yeah, what I might do for December is have a giveaway open throughout the whole month and draw them in January. And just keep drawing for as many prizes as I have. And just do it like a little raffle. And just pick a prize, get the number generator to give us a number, and email that person with a certain prize, and then do it for the next and the next and the next, and just do loads of prizes from one big giveaway that's been open the whole time. So yeah, stay tuned for that, because then you'll have the full month to be able to catch up. She says she is also a multi-placer. She says, but to be honest, she places both horizontal and vertical. I did do a little bit of horizontal the other day as I'm building up my confidence with multi-placing. She says, fun fact, she says she is diamond painting today while on medication, and she's a little bit loopy. She said it is extremely weird to diamond paint while high, albeit legally high. She says she loves the painting that I'm working on, and she can't wait to see it finished because she's on catch up. She says thank you so much for sharing. Oh, thank you so much for being here, Susan, even if it is delayed in you being here because of life, because life does get in the way, and life does throw us obstacles, but there will be more giveaways, and I think December, that might just be the best way to do it, is to gather just a load of different things for giveaways and just do a draw for each one. And then people can enter once and have, you know, the chance to win prizes that I will just keep throwing out until I have cleared a bit of space in my stash, because I'm sure there will be more between now and December. That's for sure. Okay, so that is all the comments on June Waffle that I had outstanding. So I'm just refreshing my screen and I'm going to scroll down because I do need to finish this section now. It's far too close. Oh, I've just seen a comment from June Waffle. I'm like, why is there still one there? It's because I've left Jenny's comment there about the cathedral Gothic style painting. I want to double check exactly where it was from, just in case. I am sure it was Diamond Art Studio though, but Megan will know. Jamie says, try the trilogy Discovery of Witches. So that's another recommendation. I will have a look into that one. I've got quite a nice selection on my wish list now, which is great. And if I get through them all before December, I'll ask you all for more recommendations. Blossom Chops, which is Jackie, and I do remember it's Jackie, but it still makes me smile, says she definitely missed me chatting yesterday. So the June waffle ended on a Friday, and then we had a video on Saturday, and then we had my waffle again on Sunday. So at least it wasn't too big of a break in between the two. Hopefully the waffles will keep you going, especially if you break them into sections, and sort of, you know, listen to half the waffle and then listen to another half. Maybe that'll help you keep going a bit through the week, depending on how long the videos that I've got up are. Cat Lady says her Heaven and Earth design canvas was a double-sided glue canvas. It's her second double-sided glue canvas. Both have been from Smith's Beads. Her first was a red dragon, which was a gift for her sister-in-law. It was a large canvas and she needed to work on it on the easel. She said the beads were popping until she put it on her desk and worked on it from her desk. A Heaven and Earth design was worked on her desk and she had no problems with popping drills. I found the same. I did put my Heaven and Earth design big one on my easel when it was on the dining table, and it was so much easier to work on the first section, but the popping drills were worse as well. She said doing the Heaven and Earth design square has really helped her working on her squares. She says she's not sure whether it was the double-sided glue or more practice that was needed, as both were close fitting. She's currently working on a large round canvas with poured glue, and she's not enjoying it as much, but it is quicker. That is the thing. I do enjoy the squares more, but rounds are quicker. So there is definitely pluses and minuses to both. But that section is finished for today. I am caught up on June waffle comments. So join me next week while we read through some Sunday waffle comments. As I say, we'll probably have another longer session, and then we might be back to whatever normal is, whatever's considered as normal. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.